The Olympic trials for Team USA are finally coming this weekend, and the athlete who's likely going to get the majority of the media coverage, at least on the men's side, has to be Noah Lyles. And I'm not even mad at it, because he's the reigning world champion in 3 different events: the 100, the 200, and the 4x100 meter relay. And beyond that, he's the closest thing that we've ever had to box office, at least since Usain Bolt last left the track. But to be honest with you, that's really not why I'm making this video, because I had no intentions coming into this week of putting out any content about Noah Lyles. I love track and field, but particularly at the college level. And he didn't run at the college level. So every time that I cover him, it's generally because I feel the need to. Because this time, Noah went on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, which I really don't watch at all. But the video was recommended to me, so I watched it. But then I watched it again to make sure I heard what I thought I did. Most people already know that Noah Lyles is an exceptionally confident athlete, but he kinda has to be. And I would know because I used to be a college sprinter, albeit without anywhere near the talent that Noah has. But there's no possible way you can win any sprinting event, at least not at any legitimate level like D1 or beyond, if you do not believe you're gonna be the one in first before the gun goes off. The time that it takes for your brain to tell your legs to get moving in a sprinting event, like the 100 meter dash, is way too long for you to actually pull it off and win the event. You don't have a half second to waste. But Noah Lyles said 3 things in particular that made me have to play the whole video over again. The first is that he expects to be on the Mount Rushmore of sprinting. The second is that he has every intention of running faster than Usain Bolt ever did in all of his events. And the third goes a step beyond that, because he expects to win not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 gold medals at the Olympics this year. And the reason that he gave for why he wants to do it is because it's never been done before, which I guess is kind of true. So because I have so much respect for Noah Lyles and what I believe he's capable of, I decided I might as well just take the man seriously for a moment and actually consider everything that he just said. So to keep it a buck with you, this video is really just a reaction to everything that he said to Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show. So I'm gonna go line for line about the things that Noah said he's going to accomplish and evaluate. Is he actually talking crazy? Or is this something that might actually happen? Because if it's going to happen, I will admit he's probably the only person sprinting in the game right now who could actually pull it off. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCArecruiting.com, where I rank the best track and field recruits across the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. And I've never really said anything like this on camera, but I have to take a moment and shout out all of you for your support of me on this channel, because I just reached the 10,000 subscriber line, which has been a very long journey. Like I've said, I try to read all the comments, and I thank you for your support, because it allows me to keep on going. So this is just the beginning. When Noah Lyles said that he wants to be on the Mount Rushmore of track and field, I personally just interpreted that as him trying to be one of the 4 top men's sprinters of all time. The only reason I say 4 is because that's how many presidents they have on Mount Rushmore. So just taking the man at his word, I had to ask myself, are there at least 4 sprinters who I would have to put ahead of him on the all-time list right now? The only one that he actually talked about is Usain Bolt. And trust me, I'm getting to that. But as far as names that are not him, I can still give you 3 names that I would put on that list, at least right now. First, I would have to go Carl Lewis, because of everything that he did in the 100, also the 200, and if you really want to go track and field beyond, and we're really just trying to focus on sprinting, he's probably the best long jumper of all time. Just the number of Olympic and World Championship medals that he had alone in the 100 meter dash is something that Noah still has to chase after. But he also has the world records, albeit for his time in that event. For that matter, I'd also have to say Michael Johnson, because he had the world record in the 200 and the 400. That's who Bolt had to take that 200 away from. Beyond that, he also has gold medals from the Olympics in the 200, the 400, and the 4x4. He actually swept the World Championships in the 2, 4, and 4x4 in 1995. So even though Noah just gave us one sweep, Michael Johnson also has that as well, along with all the other gold medals. And for the fourth spot, I'm sure there will be a whole bunch of controversy as far as who you want to put there. Some people will say Johan Blake, and I'm not even mad at you. But I'm going to say Maurice Green for this reason. He did sweep the World Championships in a 100, 200, and 4x1. Same thing we just watched Noah do. But he also had the world record in the 100 for a period of time. And he also won the Olympics, gold, in the 100 and the 4x1. As of right now, Noah Lyles doesn't have any world records. He also doesn't have any gold medals at the Olympics. Of course, we fully expect that to change, but you still gotta go out there and run the races. Yet before I get any deeper into this, about how realistic it is for him to break any of Bolt's records in the sprints, and that includes the 4x1, I feel the need to address something else he talked about with Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy asked Noah what really inspired him to want to become an Olympic track athlete to begin with. And what he told him is something that a lot of us can probably relate to. He was watching the 2012 Olympics, him and his brother Josephus, and they looked at their parents after seeing Allyson Felix and many other athletes go off on that stage. And the conversation was pretty simple. We think that could be us. We want to be Olympians. So they dedicated themselves to trying to get to that level. Later on, Noah is quoted while saying that the title of the world's fastest man, and yes, we're talking about the records, is something that he always believed was going to be him in the future. The reason why I know most sprinters can relate to that is because I can relate as well. For me, it was Sydney 2000 when I saw Maurice Green and Marion Jones do what they did on that stage. I remember sprinting up and down the hallways of my house and getting in trouble with my mother because she told me to stop multiple times. But I also told her that I'm going to be one of those people on that screen one day. I was an actually fast kid, fast enough to get to high school, start sprinting, win league championships, qualify for state championships, and get recruited for D1. But I am not Noah Lyles, not even close. And most sprinters also are nowhere near him. Let me explain. Noah Lyles is a different breed because he is a generational talent. What that means is he does things, even when he was in high school, that most of us could only have dreamed of. That's why he became a world junior champion in the 100-meter dash. Even though when he turned pro, nobody really thought that was his best event at the moment. He even almost made the Olympic team out of high school, which is likely why he decided to skip college anyway and just run professionally. But what I'm also saying is that even though I'm sure that Noah Lyles works incredibly hard, that does not mean all the other athletes who are losing to him are not working incredibly hard as well. And that is important. His brother Josephus is a professional sprinter, and he's actually really, really good, and I am a fan. But he is not Noah, and Noah ain't him. I think they figured that out now. There is a very real difference between being one of the best at what you do and being the absolute best. That was the difference between Noah Lyles and Josephus Lyles while they were in high school. When Noah first ran at the Olympic trials, Josephus was running in the USA Junior event, which is still an incredibly big deal, but it's not exactly the same thing. It is clear there are levels to this thing we call sprinting. So when it comes to breaking Usain Bolt's world records, that is another level. I'm not saying that Noah can't do it. What I am saying is that we're gonna have to see a level from him that we haven't seen yet. So in case you forgot, allow me to remind you of how Usain Bolt came onto the scene, because he first broke the world record back in 2008, but it wasn't at the Olympics. He did it in New York City, running the 100-meter dash against Tyson Gay. He ran 9.72 seconds. The man wasn't even 22 years old yet. He then followed it up by winning gold medals at the Olympics and breaking world records in both events, the 100 and the 200. And in 2009, he broke the world records again in both events because, well, he had it like that. All the way through 2012, he never lost a championship race. And of course, he came back and won all the gold medals again at the Olympics that year. If you do the math on that, by the time Bolt in 2012 had run the table from 08 up until then, he was still like 26 years old when it was all done. And that is exactly how old Noah is right now, without one gold medal in the Olympics to his name. I'm not saying that Noah Lyles can't catch up to Bolt on the clock, or even that he can't win a whole bunch of medals. What I am saying is he is clearly behind at this point, for where Bolt was already at 26. The idea that Noah will continue to get faster and faster might happen, but it's also possible that he might not. He can still win medals, even gold ones, without breaking those world records. And if he doesn't, well, it just means that he's human, like everybody else who's run in the past. He's really not close on the clock to the 100 record, but I'd love to see him pull it off. So yes, I'm rooting for you. As far as the 200, that one seems a little bit more realistic. But still, you gotta break the record. And beyond that, Bolt made it special by doing it in the Olympic final, which I'm sure is the plan, but there's no guarantee it's gonna go down like that. I'm pretty sure that Noah is very well aware of everything I'm saying, which is probably why he said the final statement that he plans to win 4 gold medals in this upcoming Olympics, because it's never been done before. To win the 100, the 200, and the 4x1 would be a very big deal. And as far as that relay is concerned, that is the one event that I fully expect him to have a shot at the world record, because we know Team USA is fast enough to pull it off. They just have to execute in the Olympic final. First, they gotta get to the final, because they didn't get there in the last Olympics. You don't have to agree with me on that last point. You can let me know in the comment section below. But I do have an entire video breaking all of that down, so there's really no reason for me to go back on it now. I'm just going to assume for a moment that Noah's going to win gold in all those other sprinting events, regardless of what the clock says. The idea that he's going to win gold in the 4x4 as well is a little bit far-fetched, but hey, stranger things may have happened. Although Noah did run for the 4x4 indoors at the Worlds, it was controversial because the question is whether he belonged on the team to begin with. And no, they did not get gold. As far as I know on the clock, Noah Lyles has never run faster than 45 seconds flat in an open 400. And I honestly believe that's how fast you would need to go to be one of America's best 400-meter runners this year. So the only way to get him on the relay is you're probably going to have to take somebody else off who probably deserves more so to be on it. And if my estimation about that is anywhere close to accurate, if Team USA were to win gold in the 4x4 with Noah Lyles running, that would technically be despite him. Definitely not because of him, because the leg that he would be running is where they're going to be the most vulnerable. And it's a whole nother conversation about whether or not he should be running on that relay in place of somebody else in the first place. So no matter what happens during the Olympic trials, I'm pretty sure you're gonna see a whole bunch of content come out focusing on Noah Lyles, because that's normally what happens whenever he races anyway. And I'm really not that mad at it, because Noah Lyles is a generational talent. But guess what? So is Usain Bolt. I think it's safe to argue even more so. Noah might be able to catch him. I'm not saying that he won't, but it ain't gonna be easy. It is abundantly clear that Noah Lyles is going to be playing catch up for the remainder of his career. And there is no guarantee that he has enough track ahead of him to pull it off. And fortunately for him, nobody else in history has caught Bolt either. So if he can just get closer than anybody else ever has, that will get him on Mount Rushmore, which is 1 goal out of 3, which is really not that bad if you ask me. SCA track and field gear is here. Fast is a lifestyle, and what you wear should reflect that. Order yours at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.